the day I read my horoscope 4 hours too late. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, a podcast about life, looking at life from a new perspective to gain wisdom and understanding in hopes to know yourself more. I talk about life. I talk about living my life and the experiences that I've had, the challenges that I've had, and how I find optimism and wisdom with my life and what happens. Yesterday's episode, I briefly talked about astrology. And astrology is just another tool in my spiritual toolbox that I can use for understanding and for wisdom. It's not something that I live by and that, when there's a Mercury retrograde, I don't stay hunkered down in the house, afraid of everything breaking down. It's simply something that I use as a tool to be aware. I could have challenges to be aware when I could have some really great days. I don't look at my horoscope every day. Some days I do, some days on a regular basis, but I don't look at it and then plan my day based on what a general horoscope is saying. Because it doesn't typically have any meat to it. And what I mean by that, it can't really say, if you go out of the house, this is what's going to happen to you kind of day. And it's just kind of one of those things that I'll look at and go, it says I'm going to have a good day. Let's hope I do. Yesterday, I did not read my horoscope in the morning. I read it 4 hours too late. I read it when I was sitting on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck to come and pick up my car. That's when I read my horoscope. That's when I realized I read it 4 hours too late. I have some significant changes in my life. And I'm at this point where I'm trying to get things wrapped up. I'm trying to get things done. I have specific items that I want to cross off my list every day. Yesterday I had a pretty successful day. I had several errands that I needed to run, and it felt very good to get those done. I'm not really a wild and crazy gal, and I don't really have plans every single night because, you know what? I'm old and I need sleep, and I'm grumpy if I don't get sleep. But a friend reached out around 5:30 and was like, hey, you know what? I don't want to stay home. Let's go out. So we made a plan to meet. We hung out. We hung out for a few hours. And yesterday, it's the cold air is blowing in. It was wet. It's rainy. And we decided to wrap up the night. It was like 10:15. Not super late for me, but not super late. Well, one thing led to another, and I hit a median in the road. And I blew out both of the tires on the driver's side. And I'm sitting on the side of the road thinking, what is happening? So I call my friend and I'm like, I blew out my tires. And she's like, are you shitting me? And I mean, is this something that you really joke with at 10:15 at night to a friend? No, of course I'm not. Of course I'm not making this up. So she comes and it's like, okay, trying to regroup. What do I do? What is happening? I can't believe this is happening. I had a really good day. Finally, we get regrouped. I call a tow. It's going to be, 30, 40 minutes, which isn't, I guess, too bad considering. And so all of these emotions are going through me. I'm just frustrated. I don't have situations with my car. I don't have accidents. Things don't happen like this. I mean, I'm a good, safe driver. I'm really just in disbelief that I'm having to do this. It's 10:30 at night at this point. And I automatically go to, what is my message here? I mean, seriously, what is happening? And just for a joke, I told her, I'm like, well, let me go see what my horoscope was for the day because I didn't read it. And like I said, a lot of times these horoscopes online are just general, like candy is what I'd like to call them, because, they don't have a lot of substance. They don't have a lot of meaning. And a lot of times they aren't relative to what is happening in life. So at 10:30 at night, when I'm sitting alongside the road with both of my tires blown out, I pull up my horoscope and it says, the title is Expect the Unexpected. This can be a somewhat disruptive influence during which you are subject to sudden upsets or to behavior that is upsetting to others. Under this influence, it is quite likely that you will not follow your normal routine as on other days. There could be an automobile breaking down unexpectedly, a sudden argument, or an unexpected separation from someone. The point is that you can expect the unexpected today. And I looked at her, I'm like, what is happening? Because one, I never go out. I never meet, unexpectedly like that. I never just make plans spur of the moment, ever. And so here it says, you're going to want to break free from your normal routine, which is exactly what I felt. It's like, I never go out, so let me go out. And then when I do, I do major damage to my car. My point is that I had had such a great morning and afternoon accomplishing a lot of the things on my list. These things that you just don't want to do. You don't want to take things and drop them off and just run errands. One of the items on my list was to drop my insurance from full coverage to liability because I don't have any accidents. What is Murphy's Law? The moment you decide to do something, something happens. It was just a crazy experience last night. Thankfully, I found a shop to drop my car off. They're already working on it. They're already working getting it fixed. They're already working on trying to save me money and just get my car back up and running. I just thought this was a poignant message about, one, I had talked about astrology yesterday. I didn't read my horoscope. And now I may have to read it before I go out to make sure there's not any crazy messages like that again. I dropped my insurance to liability only, and then something happens to my car. Life doesn't always go as planned. And I'm looking at the situation this morning, realizing things could have been a lot worse. I had someone there who was leaving at the same time, who, took me home, who made sure that everything was taken care of. This morning, she was like, "Are you mad at me?" And I said, "No, I'm not mad at you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that you asked me out to have fun. But it's just crazy how all of these things intersected at one time. I never go out, and I'm still processing it. And the thing that she said this morning is like, well, now you have a great story. I mean, I guess that's what life is made up, about the unexpected stories and how you figure out ways to take care of problems. Like I said, you can't always plan everything out. We can't always just be afraid of the unknown. That we have to live, we have to do things that we want to do. And if something happens, it's not saying you shouldn't have gone out. It's just saying, I didn't do anything wrong. The message here wasn't that I should have just stayed home and that I should have just hid in my corner in my cave. The stories in life rarely happen from, it was a perfect day. Those aren't really the stories that we tell when we get old. It was the stories about, well, we did this, and then this happened, and then this happened, and you couldn't believe it. Those are the stories that define our life. And now, I'm literally grounded without a car, so I have to stay home. It's just, you can't make this stuff up. I hope you are enjoying the first day of the new year. I hope you take a few minutes to sit and be grateful for all that you have, all that you are, and all that you will be. Oh, and if you care, I blew out both of the tires. I broke the wheel on the front. I broke the strut. And so, yeah, you just can't make this up. Thank you for listening to this podcast of Tracy Talks. Please like and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. And until next time, we meet again.